you a special edition of the National Football League for this Thanksgiving matchup. It's the New England Patriots.
This crowd rolled into U.S. Bank Stadium. They were bundled up, jackets and scarves, downright cold outside on this November evening. But all good here inside as we welcome you to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Tonight it's the final morsel in our Thanksgiving feast, and we've got a good one in store between the New England Patriots and the Minnesota Vikings. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that could have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Time to set the old turducken aside and get ready for football as here we go on a Thanksgiving night. Taking in at the 3. The Vikings offense coming out for the first time, and in his 5th season leading this crew, coming off his 3rd career Pro Bowl nod, Kirk Cousins.
And one nice thing you can always say about Kirk Cousins is that he's consistent. Always puts up nice numbers each and every year. If there is a downside to his game, it's been the lack of playoff success. All in all, though, formidable starting quarterback at a time in the league where it's tough to find your franchise guy.
First play, here's Cousins. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Cousins. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive, INT.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Cousins. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 38-yard line. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Cousins gives way to Cook. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
2nd down and 5. To throw, Cousins. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A big play that time on a catch and run. And it'll result in a fresh set of downs.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Cousins going to bat it forward here on the jet sweep. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook from 6 yards away. And the Vikings will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Well, we know he has decent hands out of the backfield. That's the first time, Charles, they've targeted him in the passing game, and it pays dividends.
And I love the design, too, because they kept him in the backfield, made the defense think run first before they swung him out of there. And you're right, with his hands, they might want to throw it to him just a little bit more.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Well, we get a first look at this Patriots offense, and, of course, leading them for his 2nd season. Last year's Rookie of the Year runner-up out of Alabama, Mac Jones.
Mac Jones absolutely believed in himself coming out of high school. Went to Alabama despite the fact there were many high-profile quarterbacks already on the roster, and blossomed into a Heisman Trophy candidate in his final season with 41 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions. Steady, consistent as a passer, doesn't have the biggest cannon for an arm, but can stretch the field and lay those passes in on the deep ball.
Jones and the Pats now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. A run with a 2nd-year man. That's Ramondre Stevenson. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block, but the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And he's going to have a Patriots 1st down as he'll take this up to the 38-yard line.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for him. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a 1st down, pick it up, and keep moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Jones. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Used to have a coach who tells us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use on paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing, Jones. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47. Back to throw, Jones. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there, nearly an opening drive, INT.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
To throw again on 2nd down, Jones. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw again. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. But Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground.
A good scheme and an early win for this pass rush. They got back there before he could work through his entire progression and ended that play early.
On 4th down, Michael Pilardi on to punt. And this returnable for Rager. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And the Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they'd really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time? Let's keep doing it until they stop us. Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw taken in by Hockenson here. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that will bring up 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Cousins in step with Jefferson that time. 1st down, Vikings. They'll try the middle with Cook. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
When you're a capable runner, oftentimes your quarterback coach, your offensive coordinator, they love to see you break the pocket and go ahead and take off. I think he could have gotten vertical and picked up something there. Instead, he pushed it downfield. Incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Throw caught there by Osborne. And he will have a Vikings 1st down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
Cousins now from the 50. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Osborne. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Just a yard to go here on 2nd down. Cook up the gut. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run it again with Cook. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Setting up the screen for Cook. Dances by at the 20. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. And the offense humming on the 1st drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. But those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Cook following the penalty. 4 yards there on the carry, gets it back to 2nd and 11.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. A bad 3rd down mistake there.
Points were already on the board in their mind. And that's the worst part about it, right? Because it's just like in golf. Never count it in the cup until it rolls in there. Otherwise, you can really get messed up with your scores. In this case, you know they thought, hey, at least 3, maybe even a chance to get 6. It's a little bit demoralizing going off the field now that you've turned it over and you come up empty.
Yeah, if he holds on to that, at least the field goal on 4th down. Now they lose it. Jones, following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. And that is incomplete here.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jones. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And I think this is a route we'll see more as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Jones. From the gun on 3rd down.
Oh, tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Cook. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And now a pause. It looks like we have a Patriot injured on the play. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Second and 8 coming up.
Here's Cousins.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 16 yards, a 1st down.
They certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the 1st half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the 2nd half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Cousins. And he'll just get rid of it.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing, Cousins.
He's going to get this one down to Cook.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Cousins now.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Made the quick throw there outside the numbers, and you can feel the thought process. They just wanted to get in his hands and let him make a play. But how about the job they did defensively to keep him bottled up? Instead, they tackle him for a loss.
4th down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph from Minnesota.
From the right hash, and this one just a chippy.
Joseph's got it.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing the coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Joseph now to kick this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit.
And he coughed it up, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
Certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time, completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
What a way to start a drive. An excellent run, a tone setter, and now, if you want to take a shot on second down and go play action and make it look like the same exact play and throw it over the top, you can do so because you've established the run in a big way.
On 2nd and 1, Cousins.
Open man is Osborne. He's got it. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Cousins.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Looking to throw again on second down. Cousins. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Now, we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs. And I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play, ruling on the field.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Joseph on for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So that drive, 4 plays.
And it was all capped off by Justin Jefferson's touchdown reception. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And able to get this out to the 25. New England trying to get a place on offense.
And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And it worked his way across the 30 to the 32. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Looking to throw. Jones. Hunter Henry brings it in.
And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And over the middle, this is Parker. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones. That's complete into the hands of Myers.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
From the 39, Jones. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The protection up front, very good on that play. Had all night to throw the football, even though he was unsuccessful.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Jones. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
Was it Darius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground? So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one for 56 yards, you know everything's got to come on perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through. And that one winds up no good.
The Vikings head out to take over once again. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back.
A first down throw for Cousins. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack.
Lawrence Guy able to get in there and drop him for a loss.
Well, obviously the pass rush gets the glory and the statistics on this play. But the coverage, they deserve a ton of credit too. Denied open windows, erased the quarterback's targets one by one. Everywhere he looked, someone was covered. Only a matter of time before someone got there to bring him down.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. To throw is Cousins. And his throw here's incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. From the gun, here's Cousins. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Partner, it took a while for him to lock onto a receiver, and he finally found his man coming left to right across the formation. But by the time he got the ball to him, not much of a chance to turn upfield and make anything out of it.
So on 4th down, on is the punter Ryan Wright. And deep to return it is Marcus Jones.
And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. So the Patriots coming out now.
And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Up the middle, here's Stevenson.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Now Jones.
To the sideline, he's got the catch, and he kept the feet in bounds. Well done.
They get 9 yards there, and they get a 1st down.
It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Kevin O'Connell clearly unhappy with that call, and he's thrown that red challenge flag out on the field.
Previous play is under review.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, ruling on the field.
So score one for Kevin O'Connell. His decision to throw the challenge flag, a good one.
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. 36 yards on the punt with no return.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
And now out comes Minnesota.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Room here to run. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
56 yards on the ground for him now at 9 carries.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down.
This one brought in by Jefferson. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6.
Cousins. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On 1st and 10, Cousins.
That's a quick slant. He finds Adam Thielen. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Options galore here. Second and a few inches.
Now Cousins. That is caught at the 7-yard line.
And the Vikings are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
They juked him. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. They try again with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown.
Dalvin Cook
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Vikings continue to pull away here in this first half. So the toss play effective even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense can miss too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time he had the speed to win that race.
Joseph now to have the PAT. And the lead is now 24. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. New England's offense set to go. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. That'll give him 8 that time, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. Throwing Jones. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. Their physical group open. We just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. Jones
targets Parker, and he's got him on the crossing route. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Jones throw there complete to Myers. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
He'll get this underneath to Stevenson.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He sets to fire deep. And this one is incomplete.
I believe I'm following their logic. Take the big shot downfield, loosen things up. You're hoping to get some points on the board before the half. Maybe now you come back and throw some underneath stuff in order to make sure you get a completion.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
This defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Back to throw again.
That's going to be caught along the sideline, and what a job of keeping his feet in bounds. They say that's a catch.
The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down in bounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
He'll dump this down to Stevenson.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So the completion good for 7 there. And it's 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jones
out route, and this is Henry with a catch. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
Checking this down to Stevenson. Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick.
It'll be a gain of 3 on what should be the final play of this first half. So we've reached halftime here on a Thanksgiving night. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome everyone to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports halftime report. First things first, though, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for New England. And despite the fact that they're looking up at a double-digit deficit at halftime, they were able to move the football through the air in those first two quarters. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they were even better throwing the football. Lots of open receivers to choose from, and you can bet that'll continue to be a focus in the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Patriots trailing here, but they will have the football first as the third quarter is underway. This fielded right at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Patriots taking over to start quarter number 3. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen points on the board, they begin to have hope.
Harris starts the drive on the ground. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Zadarius Smith able to get him down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They run again with Harris. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up in a 3rd and 9 situation.
I would think as a play caller, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end, any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. He's got him in, complete. And all the way in, touchdown, New England. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
So the Patriot offense stays out there, and they'll line up and go for 2. They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half.
And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
And you can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
Play fake. Cousins. He's going to go for a big play downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing. Cousins. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
Cousins to throw it. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
And here's Ryan Wright now,
as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. Nelson Aguilar and company getting set to go again on offense now. Good day for him so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards, but hey, it's the 3rd quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jones.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Andrew Booth puts it up. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner. And with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Throwing is Cousins.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson.
And he'll be stopped at the 28. On a play that started at the 14, they pick up 14. Cousins on first down. This ball complete. It's an out route to Thielen. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Here's Cousins. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he'll take this one down near the 15. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. On 3rd down, Cousins.
Working the sideline here. Did he get the feet in? Yes, they say that he did. Nice job tapping both of them down.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. They'll run for it. Cook. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down.
They've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass.
They'll run with Cook. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
2nd down and goal. Cousins.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
3rd and goal for Cousins. Touchdown, Vikings. Cousins able to connect with Adam Thielen as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the 2 teams by far, and that's great complimentary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field, and the offense goes right out and scores to open up a pretty sizable lead.
Joseph connects on the extra point.
And that pushes the lead up to 23. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
And it ends with a touchdown pass to Adam Thielen. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. On the return, Marcus Jones from the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Patriots ready to get the football back. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Jones and the Pats now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 21. A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Now Jones. It's complete to Parker, left side. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off play action. Jones. But it's caught on the right side at Smith. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. A good gain on 1st has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They'll try the right side with Harris. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
But that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Back to throw. Jones. He's going to look deep down the field. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Straight ahead, it's Stevenson.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Off the play fake. Jones.
On the sideline, did he keep his feet in bounds? They say yes. Great job, both feet in, 1st down.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. Even with the good move he showed, he'll be brought down short of the 15. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety and being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Jones now, off the play fake.
just keeping the play alive. And he wisely will throw that away.
This has got to be the story all night long, hasn't it? They don't look like really get much done on third downs, and it's costing them.
Now Jones throwing on fourth down. Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Henry. And the Patriots are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They only needed that 1 yard going for it on fourth. I got to be honest. I thought they were going to stay on the ground. They surprised me. Did they surprise you?
I'm with you on that one. I thought they'd find a way to create some type of a power run and try and pick up the first down, but they decided keep the ball in the hands of the guy who could throw it, and it paid off.
Yeah, that decision paid. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Damian Harris, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Patriots are able to cut into that deficit. They go I formation. Fullback leads the way for the touchdown. Sort of a lost art, isn't it?
It really is, but sometimes when you're able to bring it back and use it against other teams, they're not prepared for it. They haven't seen it in a while, and now you gain an advantage, and we just saw that advantage result in a touchdown.
So the Patriot offense stays out there, and they'll line up and go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And he's going to get into the end zone for 2. And they're back within 2 scores. Down 15 now. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Vikings ready to go again on offense. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 70 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Throw caught there by Osborne. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. Dances by him. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, Cousins. He'll dump this off to Cook.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, that flag puts them on their heels a little bit more defensively as the officials walk it upfield.
Yeah, and they can blame the officials all they want, but bottom line, it's their own fault because, to me, that was an avoidable call. Stay focused and avoid major mistakes like that.
We are headed to the 4th here on Thanksgiving night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the great move out of the bag, but couldn't do a ton with it. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. This will wind up a loss on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and goal situation. Now Cousins. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Great defense there on 3rd and goal. They took away everything. Forced him to fire that one to the sideline where no one could get it.
Fourth down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph from Minnesota.
This to make it a 3-score game late. The kick by Joseph is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that not just important in the fact that it widens their lead, but really that was a textbook job of just hanging on to the football.
And we know all the time that coaches talk about time of possession. Sometimes it's a stat that doesn't matter much, but in this drive, it matters a lot. They want to reduce time and score points and lock this game down.
Joseph now to kick this one away.
This will be fielded inside the 5.
Well, a dangerous return man showing it here.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing Jones. Open man is Myers. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Stevenson now on 1st and 10.
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
On 2nd and 9, Jones. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
The scoreboard tells a story for him a little bit bleak, and while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close, but the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
New England on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Jones. Henry's got it out on the left side. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 36. 18 yards, a big pickup there on 3rd down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 36.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw here taken in by Parker. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Here's 2nd and a yard.
Back to throw again. He's got Smith here. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 12-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Harris running straight ahead.
He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Jones from the gun on 3rd down. Parker's got it for a Patriots touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Patriots have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Nick Folk for the point after. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. A 10-play drive that time.
And Devontae Parker able to finish it off with a touchdown reception.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
This taken in at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's toppled the century mark already, receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary, all of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Play action now. Cousins. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
They'll look to throw.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And here's Ryan Wright now
as he's on to punt for Minnesota. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Patriots take over.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Jones and the Pats now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 27. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. Throw left side complete. That's Parker. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. He'll find Parker again. Complete.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
On 2nd and inches, Jones. And over the middle, this is Parker.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
They hand this off to Harris. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down.
It's the down at the 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 34-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Operating from the gun, Jones. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Back to throw. Jones. Open man is Jacoby Myers. He's got it. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 23. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Here's Jones, throwing on 1st down. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high-percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. That's complete into the hands of Myers.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, well, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. Here it's 3rd and 3, trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first.
57 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Looking to throw. Jones. And they're going to get him. They bring it down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Give that sack to Harrison Phillips, the big man.
First and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on 2nd and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Back to throw. Jones. Throwing the out route. He's got Parker. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. Jones. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And now defensively in the 2-minute drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments, and anytime you get a chance to tackle someone in bounds, get them on the ground.
So on 4th down, Jones jogs off, and on comes a longtime vet, Nick Folk, for the pass field goal try. Folk's kick is good,
and that'll make this an 8-point game. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
After the made field goal, back out is Nick Folk to kick this one off.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook.
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They run it again with Cook. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
And here's Ryan Wright now,
as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. On the return is Jones. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So now Jones and the Patriots
down by 8, less than 90 seconds to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down.
It's one play at a time, baby.
Jones.
He's going to let it fly. And it's knocked away and incomplete. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
Here's Jones.
His throw incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions now, 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
To throw is Jones.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. But give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going. And I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. Now the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. So now let's look at this situation with no timeouts remaining. The offense should be able to just run the clock out.
I know that's what it says on my time management chart up here. And I know a lot of teams are hiring a time management coach who's going to sit in the box, talk to the head coach. And in this situation, if you do anything but take a knee in victory formation, then you're not playing the game right. This game should be over. Take the knee, hold on to the ball.
By the way, so impressive that you do have a time management chart up here.
Listen, you know I can't count. So I need it in a big way. We can't hire anyone to help us out. So hopefully I'm reading it correctly.
Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
So it's a win for the Vikings, and it was Kirk Cousins, the veteran, who really led the way.
Yeah, he was in complete control of this offense. He had 3 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And to be honest, he really made it look easy out there.